Not long ago, I was showing off an AI case study where my newly built website popped this majestic traffic boner you see here and was making $8,000 per month. But that's when things took a turn for the worse. Just look at my traffic now. Of course you see that nice rise up until late March, and then bam, half the traffic got circumcised and growth has been flat ever since. Here's the thing though, I absolutely expected this to happen. I knew it was coming. In fact, I predicted it. In this video, I'm going to explain why this traffic graph is completely normal and what I'm going to do to turn it around very soon. And also to explain why with half the traffic, the website is now generating $20,000 per month. What? Yes, you heard that correctly. This video is going to show you what 14 years of affiliate SEO experience looks like when encountering challenges, how to turn losses into wins, and how to stay completely chill when Google is being a bitch. But real quick, use the link in the pinned comment to sign up for my free affiliate SEO masterclass. It's 45 minutes of unreleased training going over all my tactics that I'm using today to get websites to the top of Google in 2023. Now let's get on with the show. Let's start to understand why this AI site lost half of its traffic. The first key fact is that this website was built on an age domain. I got it from Otis, the same place I get all my age domains. The domain's former topic lines up perfectly with the current topic, plus it had a nice chunk of great backlinks. The second key fact is that it was implementing a topical authority approach to the content. Let's say you're in the cat niche. Instead of just trying to rank for your money keywords like best cat shaver, you decide to write all the content on cats. Can cats eat chocolate? Do cats fart? Like I said, all the content. When you do this, Google has no choice but to consider you a topical authority on cats and you're going to get rewarded. Now, producing tons of content is expensive, but not if you're using AI to churn out 10 articles per day, which was the whole point of this case study and the equation that follows. Expired domain plus rapid topical authority equals traffic boner. If you pick the right expired domain and blast it with topic-specific articles day after day, you're gonna be pitching a traffic tent like this. Now, this website was on its first rise. The site was dormant, we brought it back to life, and then the traffic shot straight up through the top of my monitor. During the first rise, websites can get away with murder. We weren't link building. We weren't doing anything but smashing the AI content button. Here's my theory on what happens. When you first resurrect an age domain, Google has a quality score already assigned to it. But since the site was essentially dead, that score is 0. So all these ranking factors that you're typically judged on, user engagement scores, link building velocity, technical SEO, and more, you get a free pass on these things. Google isn't going to judge your user engagement scores as if you were the New York Times. They're not going to waste their finest, most expensive algorithms on you. They're expecting the user engagement signals that are customary for sites on page 10, which is absolutely nothing. The result, unadulterated traffic gains with nothing to hold you back. That's why you often see sites with no eat, crap content, and 0 ongoing link building at the top of Google. They're on their first rise. But like any good party, once it gets out of hand, the cops show up and the fun's over. And that comes in the form of a Google Core algorithm update. In Core updates, your quality scores are reevaluated. Yesterday, you were judged as soft as a toddler's preschool lesson, but now they see how much traffic you have and they're looking at you as if you're applying to Harvard. And thus you get corrected, just like I did here with the March 2023 Core update. And this is a pretty common occurrence, especially in the health niche where I make most of my money. None of these here were my sites, but they were all stacking cash, living their best lives, and then bam, party's over. One of my SEO testing group buddies, Yasher, says you can avoid this banhammer by continuously building links, which makes complete sense. There's no way a website can be growing in traffic to that degree without attracting natural backlinks. But in my case, I was screwed from the beginning because I wanted to demonstrate a backlink-free AI case study. That said, I'm certainly building links now that the proof of concept is done. Referring domains has reached 1,000 and I just hit DR58. But that's not all I'm doing to get it back on track, and this effort is working. When debugging a core update drop, you need to do all the things. First, we start with technical SEO. Technical SEO issues can completely ruin your quality score on Google. When you make life hard for Google, technically, they make life hard for you. Just think about it. If retrieving information from your website costs twice as much time and computation as the next website, you're moving down the rankings. Here's a list of issues you want to be on the lookout for. Crawl errors. Are there certain parts of your site that are completely inaccessible by Google? Or do you have pages on your site that are extremely hard to reach and are more than 4 jumps away from your homepage? Missing titles and descriptions and alt tags. Did you forget to fill out all these critical places for meta info? Do you have non-HTTPS URLs indexed? A quick check you can run is to Google site : your domain name, then minus HTTPS. Do you have broken links? And this applies to internal links between the pages of your site and incoming external links going to pages that don't exist anymore. Do you have duplicate duplicate content. This is what a site bulb duplicate content report looks like for diggitymarketing.com. Do you have indexing issues? Are you wasting Google's crawl budget on indexing tag pages and images? Do you have problems with schema? Make sure you always check your schema in Google's free structured data testing tool. And lastly, do you have issues with your core web vitals and the overall speed of your website? Next, you want to perform a complete audit of your content. Check for thin content on your site. I wrote an article on how to do a complete content audit, and I give a list of items that usually trigger thin content: duplication, scrape content, auto-generated content, but apparently this doesn't include AI now, regurgitated affiliate content, and doorway pages. After this, you want to make sure that you're completing topics in your niche. If you write the best piece of content on the planet on how to breakdance, Google doesn't give a shit. Why? As you know, topical authority. How deep are your content clusters? Did you cover all the topics in your niche or just a subset? Get on it, because topical authority is re-ranked only during core updates. You need to complete your topical map before the next one. Next, check for keyword cannibalization. You see, Google doesn't like to rank two articles from the same website. And when two or more articles compete, neither of them get to rank. What you need to do is decide which one you do want to rank and then de-optimize or delete the other one. The next item is also only checked during core updates. If you're an affiliate SEO, you need to get your ratios of informational versus commercial content correct. What is the right ratio? It depends on your niche. Make sure to watch my video called All Affiliate Websites Need to Do This after you finish up here. After that, you want to check the subtopic coverage of your articles. When you're writing an article that you expect to do well on Google, you should be researching how your top competition structured their articles. For example, if you wanted to write an article on how to lose belly fat, you go to this top ranking article from Healthline and see that you need to talk about eating fiber, avoiding trans fats, and not drinking a 12-pack of beer every night by yourself while watching Netflix. You need to include these subtopics in your article. When a core update rolls out, the top articles ranking on Google get mixed up. So the golden set of subtopics required to answer the query might have been jumbled around too. You need to check on that. To learn more, make sure you watch my video on how to write content that ranks #1 on Google after you finish this video. Next, you want to fire up the tool Surfer to check the following. First, is the word count of your article still the average of the top 5 in Google? I ran an experiment where I deleted 2,000 words of content to reclaim the #1 position for SEO coaching after a core update. I documented the whole thing in this video you're seeing here. Also in Surfer, you want to check how well your words, phrases, and entities are optimized. This is a big one. Google's expecting to see certain words and certain frequencies in your content. Story time. I used to have a website that ranked #1 on Google for how to brew beer. But at the same time, I was ranked 54th for how to make beer. How is that even possible? You can't make beer without brewing it. You can't brew beer without making it. When I ran the content through Surfer, I found out I was using the word make 94 times. That was 3 times more than the other articles on page 1. I was over-optimized. Once I toned down on that word, we shot up to #1. This shit matters. Doing a Surfer audit also gives you the side benefit of updating your content. Google's algorithm loves fresh content. They want to know that you're maintaining your pages, and even small tweaks can make the algo happy. Also, check to see if you're linking out and citing where you're getting your information from. There's an example in Google's quality rater guidelines where they actually bash a website for not citing its references. They also talk about EAT, which we'll get to soon. For a full content audit checklist, check out my article I wrote on the subject after you finish up here. Link in the description. Next, EEAT stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. They define it in Google's quality rater guidelines, but so many quote SEO professionals interpret it wrong and assume that it means that all your content needs to be written by doctors, scientists, and Elon Musk, for crying out loud. The quality rater guidelines is a document meant for human reviewers to give Google feedback on the results. The actual algorithm doesn't track down to make sure your authors went to Stanford. That's ridiculous. But what it can check for is a complete lack of authorship and credibility signals. So here's how you cover those bases. State who your authors are in each post. Include author schema on your pages to algorithmically tell Google that you have real humans behind the site. And make sure to feature your authors on your about or author-specific pages. The quality rater guidelines have a whole section on how the owners of credible websites should be contactable, which is easy for a robot to check for, so make a damn contact page. But if we're being real here, EAT is, quote, largely based on links coming from Google's own mouth. Now, Google has said on multiple occasions that they're able to ignore most spammy links. The key word here is most. Most isn't good enough for your sites. So create a disavow file. This is a file you use to tell Google what links you want them to ignore. In this case study I wrote on how to lift an algorithmic penalty, I gave a checklist on whether or not you should add a link to your disavow file. For example, does a website look spammy? Does it link out to tons of websites? Is it placed in content that makes sense? Is it comment spam? And so forth. Also, you want to take a look at your anchor text. Since the Penguin algorithm was introduced in 2016, Google has taken a crackdown on anchor text over optimization. Each URL on your website is expected to have a balanced mix of target, URL, brand, topical, and miscellaneous anchor text as determined by your competition on page 1. So after all this work, did I recover my website? Well, as I mentioned before, it's making $20,000 a month instead of $8, and I'll explain why soon. But what about the traffic? The thing is, if you're affected by a core update, you need to wait till the next update to see if your work paid off. And we simply haven't had a core update since March. But here's a way to tell if you're on the right track. This is a share of voice graph that represents an estimate of traffic based on your keywords and their positions. You see the drop off in March due to the core update. Now since that point, you also see that we're growing in share of voice over time. It's not flat or decreasing. That's a good sign of what's to come in the next update. And I'll be sure to make a new video on the progress when that happens. So make sure to subscribe. Okay, now how the hell is the site able to make $20,000 a month with less traffic? Get ready for a mini masterclass on monetization, and I'm not going to be humble here. I'm one of the best in the business when it comes to monetization. The first thing I did was negotiate for higher commissions. Once you're getting even just 10 sales per month, it's time to ask your affiliate managers for more money. What you need to understand is that whatever commission rate you start out with is at the rock bottom of what they're willing to give. To get the conversation going, I like to send them an email like this. Hey Bob, hope all is well. Sales for your product through our website has been growing steadily as of late. I'm in the middle of deciding the next content generation for our website. Do you have any wiggle room on commission rate increases? Our team has been putting in major work squeezing your product into every possible review article combination. We've identified a lot more, but I'm doing some ROI calculations before I make my next move. This simple email increased my $150 per conversion to not $275 a pop. That's an 83% increase in earnings. Now that I was making about twice as much money from the same offer, it was time to squeeze as much traffic to it as possible. I implemented exit pop-ups. When the user's mouse makes a movement towards the top of the screen, signaling they might leave, a pop-up comes up on the screen sending them to our juiced up offer. Do not sleep on exit intent pop-ups. When I look at my affiliate dashboard, anywhere from 30 to 50% of the sales on a given month are coming from those pop-ups. Don't leave money on the table. After that, I did some major conversion rate optimization, CRO, on the commercial content. CRO in 2023 is a lot different than it's ever been before. We used to obsess about button text and call to action colors, which are still important, but today there's a new sheriff in town. And that's getting the user's query answered as fast as possible. People are impatient these days. They don't read. They just want to Google something like best cat shaver, click on the first website, and get their answers right away. If you make them read, or heavens forbid, have to scroll down on their mouse, they're gone. You want to clearly mark which product is best and don't make them guess. As a comparison, check out this article for best cat shaver that doesn't rank anywhere near the top of Google. Look at how far down you have to read this drivel before you get to the damn answer. So these days, CRO is all about UX. Check out my video called I Designed the Perfect Affiliate Website after you finish here. In it, I show my perfect affiliate website layout based on years of trial and error. Next, I monetize my informational content. Yes, it's completely possible to make money from articles like does protein powder make you fat? Why not? In this article, you could answer the search query, yes or no, it makes you fat, and then give a recommendation on your favorite low-fat protein powder. If there's nothing you can pitch directly from your informational article, then at least move them down the sales funnel through internal linking. Get them from a does protein powder make you fat article to a best protein powder article. That's the thing, you don't even need to rank high for the super lucrative keywords, if you can internally get your readers to that content. So what's the plan now? I'm churning out 10 articles per day with Surfer AI, stacking topical authority silos like it's no one's business. I'm link building like crazy too, all the while patiently waiting for the next update to see the fruits. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.